Welcome to Parklands Primary School. We are happy to share our experiences and understanding of the quality program with you, as it is an important part of how our school operates and how we learn.
Our school is located in Mill Park in Victoria. It opened in January 1999 with about 250 students. We now have 762 in 31 classrooms with 70 staff.
In 2000, Parklands joined the Quality in Schools program.
We hope you like our quality program and how it works.
The most important thing of all that we started on was working on getting common values to all of us. So we undertook very wide consultation and we finally decided on 8 core values, and it was amazing the similarity between the children, the parents and the staff.
To make our values, we split up into little groups and we discussed what we thought the values looked like, and then we wrote them down on 1/8 of a piece of paper and we put all the values together to form in a pie chart to show that all the values are equal and they fit together, and we aim to show them 100% of the time.
You don't have to have worked here for very long before you're familiar with the values, because it's sort of part of everyday life for the children.
What we did was we went around the school and took pictures of our values. One of them is caring.
The value of a fair go for all is if you are using a paintbrush and someone else needs it, you can ask them if they want to use it to finish off the work.
That was something I noticed a lot when I moved to high school. They didn't emphasise values as much. Here at Parklands, they'd set us up to respect each other and to just get along with each other. It meant that going to high school was a lot easier.
After we'd agreed to the values and our vision, then we looked at the core purpose. It was important to us to do it in that order. We were able to combine the individual purpose of education and the national purpose of education.
Why do we come to school? So we can learn. Why? So we can know everything. Why? So that we can be clever. Why? So that we can be whatever we want when we grow up.
In 424, we show the values. Each day we learn new things and improve. We made that statement by getting some A3 pieces of paper and writing our ideas on sticky notes and sticking them onto there. Then we each got 2 stickers. The blues were our favourite and the red were our second favourite. And then we had a top 5 and we put the top 5 into that statement I read out before.
The systems view was another important big picture thinking tool that I brought in later, because teachers at different stages in their career focus more heavily on different parts of the system.
Our teacher asked the question, what is a system? And we came up with that a system works together to achieve something and to have success. But in our case, Parklands works together to make sure that all students get a great education. The inputs are things such as our camps and excursions, and the clients are people who are involved in our schools, like students and families. And the other stakeholders are secondary schools and communities.
As a class, we discussed and came up with our 6 processes: the morning process, reading process, pack-up process, 5-star quality work, 6-5 and 6-6 process, and the spelling process.
We did this to remind us about what we're going to do, and if we forget, we can just look at it.
And we put them on a keychain and stuck them to our paper cases so they're close by.
Each room had to devise their own process for packing up, and they all agreed we had a 10-minute bell to do it. Now, after 2 weeks, the kids and teachers all came to me and said, "Oh, we're such experts now, we only need 5 minutes to pack up." A few weeks later, it was down to 3 minutes. Now, by taking 3 minutes to end up with perfect-looking rooms, added another 10 or 15 minutes to learning time during the day. Multiply that by 5.
This is our writing process. We think what we want to write, then we do our plan, and then we share. Then we look on the word list. If they're not there, we say them 3 times. Then we listen to the sounds they make.
If you don't know how something works in their room, you'll ask someone, well, what's the process for this? And there's always someone that will tell you, and you usually get the same answer from everyone. You don't get 10 children telling you 10 different things, because in our room, this is what we do, this is how we do it.
We have a process in the LOT room as well, and how this process comes about is during our startup week, children also brainstorm what are the things that need to be done in the LOT room so that it can save time on getting organised and getting into our learning as quickly as possible.
We set up a staff manual on our intranet. The categories in the staff manual are community, curriculum, finance.
When I started at the school, I was given a pack that had a lot of the common processes in hard copy for me to access, but then if there was something else that had come up, my mentor or people in my unit would sit down with me, access the process we needed via the intranet, and then go through it with me step by step.
When the kids are doing their processes quickly, it gives them more time to learn. When the teachers have got processes in place, it gives them more time to teach, and the kids are the beneficiaries.
One of my primary responsibilities is working with the leading student learning team. In starting the team off this year, we looked at developing a core purpose for our team, and so we went through a number of quality tools to establish this.
2008 saw the creation of a new professional learning team at Parklands Primary School. That professional learning team was the physical, personal and artistic PLT. We felt that the Lotus diagram would be the perfect tool and would allow us to link all areas of the curriculum into our PLT and provide us with direction.
We use Gantt charts to schedule in our literacy assessment tasks, and since coming to Parklands, I've found it a wonderful tool to manage my time much more effectively. So here, this is basically a visual display for each year level, and in the prep team I can see all the tasks that I need to complete. For example, the letter ID assessment task in prep needs to be completed in term 1 and week 9 of term 2, not at all in term 3, but in week 6 of term 4.
We focused a lot on the principles for a couple of years, being explicit, but then it just became embedded by having the vision, the values, the purpose, the systems view, using data properly, that facilitated these things happening. Whereas in previous years, I think I'd experienced more the ways of doing things coming first. Oh, that looks like a good idea, let's try that. But if it doesn't hang on a construct or an ethos or a philosophy, it'll come and go. It'll drift in and out with the staff. Our staff data is now up in the best cohort in the state, and I put that down to us embracing all the quality principles.
This is our consensogram about how committed we are to our home learning, and if you put it on 0%, that meant you never did it at all. If you were in the middle, you sometimes do it, and if you were on 100%, that meant that you always did it and you always did your reading.
We got out our clocks every morning after we did our morning process, and our teacher said a time, like a 9 o'clock. And then with the appointment, we checked each other's diaries, and if we read, then we got a 1. If we didn't, we got a 0. And then our teacher put it on the data on this chart. That line there means that we did not complete it, and that line there means we did. And we started off really bad, but then we got really better at it.
In order to continually improve, we need to look at variation between data. Here, for example, are the percentages of students that have achieved certain progression points throughout the year. Progression point 1, which is the concept of math, 80% of the students achieved the progression point in 2006. In the following year, in 2007, 100% of students achieved that progression point. This then shows us great improvement throughout the 2 years that the students have been dealing with this concept of math. Progression point 15 shows very little variation between the years 2006 and 2007. Teachers then use this data to inform their planning because they know that students haven't had a significant improvement in that concept of maths, so therefore that will be their focus for their teaching.
The background a child comes from should not be an impediment to maximum optimal learning. Our school has a student family occupation index of 0.41, which basically means that 40% of the schools in the state have children coming from families with higher social educational backgrounds, and about 60% have lower. Now, if our school was just doing its job as it should without adding value, our results should come out at about that 60th percentile, but they're not. They're coming out at about the 80th percentile. It never works when parents blame teachers for their kids not learning, teachers blame parents, kids blame the teachers, principals blame the teachers, teachers blame the parents. Does it ever win? No, it achieves nothing. So we've got to eliminate even considering the blame game.
The parking lot is something we use in our class to express our feelings and what we do in our class. The things on the parking lot is what is going well, what are the issues, what needs improvement, and what questions do you have?
This is a poster of what makes an enthusiastic student, and at the start of the year we made it in term 1, and some of the things are showing the values, being helpful, encouraging others, persistent and being creative.
What makes an aspiring teacher? So like every week Mr. McCren would ask us, is he having a positive attitude? Am I letting you play enough games?
Did everyone follow the noise meter?
No.
Did everyone finish?
Yes.
You got 4 stars today.
At the start of the year, we all were working well and all colour and everything was good. And then during a couple of weeks, we started to not paying attention. We started wandering around the room. So that is why we came up with a force field analysis. And these are the things that are driving us, and these are the things that are preventing us. And this is what these are the 2 things that we're mostly lacking on.
Our processor is for what we're good at and what we need to improve. I'm good at sport. I'm good at stretching out words. I need to improve takeaway.
All leaders in the school, and every staff member is a leader, but it was particularly incumbent on the principal to walk the talk ad nauseum, almost overkill with the whole thing, so that every Monday morning assembly, with everything I'd planned, one of the values would be written in as just one of my descriptors. Oh, the plumbers are coming today to fix the boys' toilets. I am trusting you to respect the plumbers. Trust and respect being two of the values.
It's about the kids. And when I go into classrooms and I see students engaged, and when I talk to kids and say, what do you like about the school? And they say, I really like that my teacher listens to me. I really like that we get to do exciting things. I really like that we get to have a say in what happens in the classroom. That's what it's about. And I believe the philosophy and the processes and the tools and the relationships that are built through this program are the basis for that.